The board is set. White to move. Welcome back to Chess Thoughts. We sit here, we push these wooden pieces across the squares, and we try to make sense of the world outside this room. Today I want to talk about something that has been weighing heavily on my mind. It's a thought that hits you late at night, or when you're scrolling through your phone, looking at the way the world currently operates. Honestly, it feels like the world is fundamentally broken. Look around. We live in a reality where people are making absolute fortunes, generational wealth, just by posting videos on YouTube, being influencers, or selling access to themselves on platforms like OnlyFans. And then you look at the other side of the board. You look at doctors saving lives. You look at engineers designing the infrastructure that keeps our cities from collapsing. You look at the average person performing incredibly complex, helpful, essential tasks every single day. And the people doing that essential work are earning not even a third, sometimes not even a tenth of the money that the digital entertainers make. It is, to put it bluntly, crazy. It feels like a glitch in the matrix. It feels like we are rewarding the wrong things. So today, let's talk about why the math of our world is so broken and what happens to our minds when we realize it. In chess, every piece has a widely accepted value. A pawn is worth 1 point, a knight is 3, a queen is 9. It's logical. The queen can do the most, so she is worth the most. The system makes sense. But out there in the real world, our economic system does not measure the usefulness of a piece. It measures its leverage. Back in the 18th century, the philosopher and economist Adam Smith wrote about something called the paradox of value. He asked a simple question: why is water, which is absolutely essential for human survival, so incredibly cheap? And why are diamonds, which are basically useless shiny rocks, so unbelievably expensive? Smith realized that we don't pay for how much we need something, we pay for scarcity and desire.
Today we have a new paradox of value. It's the paradox of attention. A doctor has incredibly high utility. They are the water. They save lives. But a doctor is bound by the physical laws of the universe. A doctor can only perform one complex surgery at a time. They can only see one patient an hour. Their scale is limited by their own physical presence. An influencer is the diamond. What they do might not be essential for survival, but they have hacked the physics of scale. A YouTuber makes one video and 1 million people can consume it simultaneously. They capture 1 million fractions of a second of human attention all at once. We no longer live in an economy that pays for complexity or helpfulness. We live in an attention economy, and in this economy, the person who can capture the most eyeballs wins the most capital, regardless of what they are actually contributing to the world. It's not that the market is blind, it's that the market only cares about the size of the crowd, not the depth of the work. When you understand this, it creates a profound sense of existential dread, especially for young people. If you are gearing up to start university next year, looking down the barrel of your future, it is a dizzying landscape to navigate. You might be looking at studying engineering. You might be preparing to dive deep into the complex technical realities of how AI is fundamentally reshaping careers and industries. You are preparing to build something real, to do something deeply, undeniably useful for society. You are preparing to put in years of grueling study, sleepless nights, and intense friction. And then you open Instagram and you see someone your age buying a supercar because they did a viral dance or posted aesthetic photos. How do you reconcile that? The philosopher Karl Marx talked about the concept of alienation.
He argued that under certain economic systems, workers become alienated from the very things they create, and ultimately alienated from their own humanity. When you see society placing massive financial value on superficial digital acts, while ignoring the complex, life-sustaining labor of average people, it alienates you from the desire to participate in the system at all. It makes you feel like the game is rigged.
And let's be honest about the digital gold rush. It is tempting. When the world tells you that the easiest way to survive is to become a spectacle, it is incredibly hard to choose the path of quiet, complex competence. Why learn to build a bridge when you can just film yourself reacting to it falling down? But here is the philosophical catch. Here is the hidden tax of the attention economy. When an engineer builds a machine, they sell their skill. When a doctor treats a patient, they sell their expertise. They go home at the end of the day, take off their coat, and they are still themselves. Their identity is separate from their labor. But when you make your money purely by being an influencer, or on platforms where you sell access to your private life, what are you actually selling? You are selling you. The French philosopher Jean Baudrillard wrote extensively about how our modern world replaces reality with symbols and signs. He called it the hyper-reality. In the attention economy, you have to turn your actual life, your face, your relationships, and your body into a consumable product. You become a symbol of yourself. Every argument with your partner is content. Every vacation is a photo shoot. Every private thought has to be monetized. The line between the human being and the brand completely dissolves. It might pay astronomically well, but the cost is your soul. You commodify your own existence until there is nothing left that is just yours. The doctor and the engineer might make a fraction of the money, but they get to keep their humanity private. They get to keep their essence. We are in the end game now. Yes, the world is broken. The financial rewards of our society are completely disconnected from what is actually helpful and complex. The algorithm rewards the loud, the flashy, and the superficial, but you have to decide what game you are actually playing. Are you playing the game to accumulate the most capital by any means necessary, or are you playing the game to become a person of substance? The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome, the most powerful and wealthy man in the world. Yet he wrote constantly to himself about the emptiness of fame and the fleeting nature of applause. He knew that true value isn't granted by the crowd, it is forged in your own character. It is incredibly frustrating to watch the world reward the superficial, but don't let the brokenness of the system rob you of the desire to do something difficult, complex, and real. We still need the engineers. We still need the doctors. We still need people who understand how the machines work. The internet might pay for the diamonds, but reality still requires the water. A good game today. Thank you for sitting with me and for wrestling with these thoughts. The board might be rigged, but how you play your pieces is still entirely up to you. Keep building the real things. Until next time, keep moving forward, square by square.